Hello, everybody. Jeff Gayduk here from Leisure Group Travel, and happy to be with you again today for another Friday Fam. Now, if you've been with us in the past, I've had two guests on before, so this is my first time with three wonderful guests. If you would welcome today Tobie Fitzpatrick, Heather Larson, and Jayne Nordstrom. Hi, ladies. How are you doing?
Good, thanks. Thank you for having us.
Awesome.
Yes.
To kind of start things off, Heather, I know all states around the U.S. are opening up in different levels. Can you give us sort of an update on what the protocol is in Illinois right now?
Well, in Illinois, we're in what is called phase 4. So from the very beginning, we have been very diligent in following CDC guidelines to keep both our residents safe as well as our visitors. And we are open for business right now. We do have some limited capacity, and we're hoping to move what they're calling, move to what is being called the bridge phase. Which is not quite fully open, and that should be happening pretty quickly. Some of the metrics involved with that were 50% of all residents 16 years and older need to be vaccinated. So we are open to all of our residents getting the vaccine at this time. We know that over 70% of our seniors have already received it, which was also one of the metrics. Just waiting on those COVID numbers to flatten out a little bit more so that hospital beds are available. That's part of the metrics. And then we will be at, during this bridge phase, 60% capacity at most venues that we go to, restaurants and attractions and so on. So we are open for business with groups up to 50 at this point, and hopefully going up larger, especially for outdoor. And with proof of vaccine, we are able to grow that number as well. So we are open for business and looking forward to your groups coming to our area.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the 50 group size certainly fits in well with motor coaches as well. So that's nice for those that are planning tours, and not many people are filling the capacity these days. So certainly fit through there. So for those of you looking at the screen here, you've got Chicago in the middle. Those of you that have run tours have probably brought groups into the city before, but the suburbs presents just a wonderful array of options. Tobie's area would cover, you look at the blue area kind of down to the lower right-hand side, all the way through. You see Oak Lawn, Orland Park area, extending out a little bit farther south. Heather would pop in, and you see Schaumburg, Arlington Heights general area would be where Heather's located. And then as we go sort of north of Evanston, I don't believe Evanston is your service area, Jayne, but a little bit north of Evanston along the lakefront and going up to the Wisconsin border is where we've got Lake County. So really covers a wide swath of Chicagoland. And I think one of the interesting things I tell people about the region is that the Chicago metropolitan area is about 3 million residents altogether. The greater Chicago area is 8 million. So it's actually larger outside the city of Chicago than it is within the city. So with that, just a wealth of opportunities and things to do. So we're going to start out today's presentation with the Southland, and we'll go ahead and play a quick video here. All right, so very fun video. Toby, you can see here on this first slide that we have here, there's a picture of Lake Catherine in the background. That's actually me on my bike. I had to use one more opportunity to showcase me and the Friday fam here, but I wanted to highlight that as one of your recreational opportunities. It's very close to my house, beautiful biking trails through there. Talk about some of the outdoor adventure and activities that you guys got in the south suburbs.
Lake Catherine's is just one of, I would say, the special prairies that we have in our area.
What can you tell readers and viewers on today's episode about the Pullman District?
Pullman is a national monument, and it's one of our favorite attractions here, located right off of the Ford Freeway. So it's easy access to get to. If you're going to do this tour, I suggest you give yourself about 3 hours to do the tour. You definitely can get off your motor coach and walk the tour, but I suggest having a step-on guide. What you are going to hear about this fantastic area is what made it so special. It started off with George Pullman, who actually started off with the sleeping car there. So if you're into trails and rails, this is a perfect place for that. You'll also hear about the first labor unionized union that was there with the Pullman Porters. So that's, if you're into African-American history, you're going to get a merge of both worlds. So it's really a fascinating tour that I think everybody should at least do. The soap factory is right across the street from there. So if you are going to do Pullman, I suggest you also go to Method. Method makes the soap for Target and Whole Foods. They also have a termite wheel at the top that actually makes them green friendly. Also, what's so unique at Method is they actually have a farm, a green farm on top of the roof. And they also, for the produce in the area, they supply to Whole Foods and some of the neighboring stores. So you'll have a chance to go over there, see the farm. Once you complete your tour at Method, they usually give you some soap to take home. So I hope that if you pack well, you can get that in your luggage. It's also a great tour.
Okay. All right, Toby. So what about the upper left-hand corner? What are we looking at there?
That's Irons Oak. So if you are looking to do like something with your group and team building or something like that, that's a great place to have a team building kind of experience. It's in Olympia Fields, on over 100 acres of land next to the Olympia Fields golf course.
Yeah, it's a beautiful. That was one of the finds that I saw a couple of years ago through the area. The other one, which isn't on the screen for any student groups out there, is that Forge complex, which is in Lamont. That also sort of covers your service area to the south. It's just a world-class adventure park, climbing, zip lines and such. And that opened last year during the pandemic. So maybe a lot of people didn't pay much attention to it. But between those two and some other options for student groups, that would certainly be something to consider for those groups that are looking to get outdoors. What can you tell us about the the bottom photo?
That's actually Governor State University, Nathan Manilow Sculpture Park, and it's on 100 acres of land. They actually have 30 beautiful sculptures there. They're in the top 10 for sculpture parks. And if you are going to do a tour there, I would say give yourself at least 4 hours, just because you can experience walking the prairie. Governor State, you can go into Governor State. They usually do a really good presentation in regards to letting you know just what you've seen and experienced. So that's a must see when you come to the Chicago Southland area.
Cool. Okay, and what about our polar bear friend?
Polar bear friend is in Brookfield Zoo. So definitely, who doesn't love the zoo? So I definitely would go to Brookfield Zoo. The other photo that you see is the Shrine of Christ's Passion. And that is in Indiana, which is about maybe 20 minutes from us. So if you are that close, you might as well go and visit the Shrine of Christ's Passion. They have over 1 million visitors a year.
Yeah, it's very fun. And, from seeing that again, there's not any hotels around there. It's a very short drive from the Southland and also a free attraction as well.
Yes.
Groups tend to spend some time and some money in the gift shop, but being that it's free, it's certainly a good add-on, whether your group is faith-based or just curious, just wonderful grounds there. One thing that we don't have an opportunity to show all the photos here. You mentioned earlier about Thornton Quarry. And I guess there's some touring options available there, some viewing options. Can you shed any light on that?
Yes. Now, the Thornton Quarry, they only tour one time a year that they'll let the public in, and it's on a Saturday. You have to definitely, your motor coach cannot go down on that tour. So it's a tour that you have to get here early for. And if it is accessible, but not for a wheelchair or anything like that. So if you go, it's a great experience. Anything you pick up from the quarry, the fossil quarry, you could take back with you. But it's only one time a year, and that's in June.
Cool. Well, that'd be something certainly to try to build a group around. All right. So Tobie, before I transition this over to Heather, can you talk a little bit about some of the culinary experiences that are unique in the Chicago Southland?
So for the culinary experience, I would suggest we have a tour that we call Cook, Taste, and Create an Experience. So I would suggest that you cook it over at Maureen Valley, start there for lunch. You will be greeted by 3 chefs, usually for the day at each location. Expect to spend maybe about $65 per person. You'll probably spend maybe about 2 or 3 hours at each location. I would suggest that you make your lunch, have a great time there. Maybe you could do this over a couple of days. I wouldn't suggest you do it all in one day. I would also experience the taste, going over to the harvest room, where it's a farm to table experience, and Palos. And then I would also try to include Poppin' Plates. Poppin' Plates is a huge culinary kitchen. So it is a woman-owned business in the Chicago Southland area, where she began her career on cruise ships, where she actually was a chef there. And now what she does is she accreditates chefs for the state of Illinois. And so she's made that into a business now, where she actually has cooking classes, and also she does a great job with all my tour groups. So Poppin' Plates is one of the venues that I definitely would suggest.
Okay. So finally, Tobie, what can you tell me about Wild Blossom?
So Wild Blossoms is in Beverly, and they make wine out of honey. And so what I would suggest there for a tour group is to do a tasting there, because if you make the wine, it's going to take you some time to get it back. So do the tastings, experience maybe 2 or 3 wines that you have that's made out of honey, and take the wine home. You actually probably, if it's in the summertime, he has a beautiful garden out in the back of the winery, and just enjoy that for the evening.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very cool historic area of Chicago as well. So awesome. Thank you so much, Tobie. Heather, let's move on over to you. Just go ahead and start with your video. Awesome, Heather. So great video. Talk a little bit about what we're looking up here on the screen. We've got some sort of eclectic activities and such in the northwest part of Chicago.
We've got a lot of fun attractions and venues in our region in the northwest suburbs. So on the top left, you're looking at Linford Winery, which is in downtown Roselle. And downtown Roselle is really coming into its own at this point. Linford Winery has been there for, I forget how many decades, many, and it is actually the most prolific winery in the state of Illinois. Now, they don't have the vineyards there, but they make the wine and they've got the barrels, and they can go, do a teaching program about the winemaking process, because they bring grapes, I should say, in from all over the world and make wine there. You can also, they do have a chef on site. It's actually a beautiful, beautiful bed and breakfast, a 4-room bed and breakfast, but they have some private dining areas where you can do tastings, where you can have the chef make you some specials and taste the wine along with that, even in the barrel room, which is pretty unique. But also in downtown Roselle, you have a chocolatier. Chocolate Imaginations will do a demo. They're known for their toffee, so you can learn a little bit about chocolate and how that's made. Also, there is a coffee roaster called Maple Leaf Coffee Roaster, independently owned company. They live and work in Roselle, and they will tell you all about the coffee roasting process. So you can really do like a little culinary tour. There's also a microbrew. In fact, we have several microbrews in the northwest suburbs. So lots of different options.
One thing I was really curious about, I've not been there myself, but just phenomenal photos that I've seen, is the Metropolis.
Yes. The Metropolis Performing Arts Center is in downtown Arlington Heights, and downtown Arlington Heights is a very cute suburb destination in its own right. Lots of shopping, lots of restaurants, and in fact, in the summer through COVID, they have blocked off the streets and allowed the restaurants to kind of spill into the streets with umbrellas. They've got the twinkly lights on the trees, so it's really a lovely setting through the summer. It's called Arlington Al Fresco, and the Performing Arts Center does everything from music reviews to actual plays and musicals and comedy as well. Of course, people, when they come to Chicagoland, they think about all the great comedians that came through our area or were actually raised in Chicagoland. And so they have those types of performances at the Metropolis as well. And it's going to be a little bit less expensive than what you might find downtown Broadway type production.
And then, of course, those of you event can recognize Medieval Times. I know that's sort of in your home base of Schaumburg there.
Absolutely. It is probably our most popular destination for group tours, whether you're a student group or a active senior group. It's dinner and a show, it's falconry, it's horsemanship, it's sword fighting. There is a storyline that goes with it. There's a queen, there's knights, you cheer on your knight, and it's a lot of fun, and it's a good big meal, so you are able to feed your guests and also entertain them for the evening, and they also have matinees.
Certainly shopping is one of the big things up there. So maybe walk our guests through some of the things that await them.
Woodfield Mall is our centerpiece. In fact, the entire community was built around this mall that was built actually in 1972 as the largest mall in the country. And we've lost that title, but we're still in the top 10 to 15, depending on how you measure it. It does very well. It has over about 300 stores in the mall, unique stores. You also do have Improv Chicago Comedy. You have Pac-Man, which is kind of this upscale arcade with like these vintage of arcade games, and also pinball, quite a bit of pinball. So it's lots of fun things to do. They do have a food court there. What I like about it is it's not just your typical fast food, McDonald's, Burger King type of a thing. It has definitely more of an international flair. It's got some healthier options, but still like great price points for that fast casual experience.
Good. What about other types of shopping in the area?
We also have Streets of Woodfield, which is kind of a shopping entertainment area. In fact, Schaumburg itself is the 5th largest shopping district in the country, with one of the largest IKEAs in the country, which is very popular. And also they have some great Swedish meatballs up on the top floor there, and some torts and whatnot. And they have a grocery store, so you can bring some of that stuff home with you as well.
Okay, and then on the top right-hand side, we've got Topgolf, which is a phenomenal experience, whether you're an expert golfer or just looking for some great food and entertainment. What can you tell about that? And then I guess we can bridge into the larger topic of golf.
Well, that's exactly right. You do not have to be a golfer to enjoy Topgolf. It is a very unique experience. And before Topgolf became so popular, and they're popping up all over the country, there's a giant one in Vegas. Ours is brand new, opened up right before COVID and did gangbusters through COVID because it is an outdoor experience. They do have heat lamps, so it is warm even in the winter months. In fact, when we had our older Topgolf, which was one of the original ones, it was beautiful to be there in the winter when the snow is falling down and you're golfing. And really, it's kind of a driving range on steroids, is what I like to say. But it's an actual game where you're hitting the balls into kind of like skee ball, where you got the circles that you try to hit it into. So you try to hit it in the middle circle, the smaller circle, and you do not have to be a great golfer to enjoy this. They've got great food. It's kind of got a little bit of a nightclub type of an atmosphere, very fun, open year round, and then of course open air, which is very popular right now.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great way to describe it as well. I mean, just perfect way to paint that picture. And sort of to the larger topic, I know you guys have a number of great golf courses, and frankly, that's true for all of Chicago suburbs. If you've got any golfers in your group, so you're going to find, literally some of the best courses in the world located throughout the suburbs of Chicago. So if that's something that more and more people are golfing with COVID, trying to get outdoors, we've seen a huge resurgence of the sport. You're going to find so many quality courses and opportunities to play, whether it's a celebrity designer, historic, the tracks that have graced, throughout from north to south, really some great opportunities across the board. Anything else, Heather, that you'd say is a draw for groups coming through to the northwest suburbs?
Well, I think you hit it on the head as far as lots of elbow room in the suburbs. So we want you to stay out here with us. We've got great, easy access to all of our suburban destinations represented here today. Lots of place for your bus to park and for your guests to stretch out. So it's a safe, enjoyable environment with lots to do out here in the suburbs. And we look forward to welcoming your groups.
So we're going to go ahead and move a little bit north to Lake County and play your video. All right, great video, Jayne. Good. I love the slideshow format of it. Really got a lot of interest in the various activities you have here. So let's work through a few of them. In your first part of the presentation, Volo Auto Museum, I know, has been popular with groups for years. Having been there yourself, talk about what groups see and do there.
Sure, this is a great couple destination. The guys can go into the auto museum and just drool all over those cars. They are for sale. So bring your checkbook, your credit card. You can go home with a car if you like. They also have the military zone, which is great for our military groups. A lot of memorabilia having to do with every single war that we've been through. And then the ladies, if they want, can go over to the large antique area, which is 3 large malls of antiques. I love when I go on a fam tour because they go through the museum and I run over to the antiques. It's a lot of fun. And they are opening up Jurassic Gardens very soon, this month of May. And that'll be an outdoor attraction, which we can't wait to show you.
Yep. So that'll really be something that groups of all sort of ages and demographics can experience based on
Exactly.
activities for men, activities for women, activities for families. So that's just an ever-growing complex. The upper left-hand photo is just one of the many beautiful shots of the Chicago Botanical Gardens.
Great, because there are so many options. What you're seeing there is the tram tour. So for groups that have there a little bit of mobility issues, that gets you around the perimeter of the garden. If you really want to see the inside, there is a smaller ride encounter tour that is smaller, but you can see the rose garden and so on. They have a great visitor center. There's the garden cafe, the shop. And then you can choose special events like the orchid show or the new lightscapes. That's their holiday show. There's just so much there to do. What you can do, a hands-on activity, or just let people go and explore what they prefer.
Yep. Well, I like the tram tour to kind of get an overview of what you can see and do, and then hit those different camera shots or areas to relax and enjoy nature as you finish the tour. So it's good that they offer that. And again, having experienced that, it's just absolutely beautiful, stunning gardens. You've got a number of historic homes and gardens as well up through Lake County.
The San Felipo Estate is the home of the family that owns the Fisher Nut Company and other nut meat companies. So this is the front entrance where your coach goes to. It's 99% accessible. They do have a ramp for wheelchairs. You're going to spend about 3 hours. You could spend longer, but they do have to cut down the tour a little bit. It has the world's largest indoor pipe organ. There are 8,000 pipes in the house, and you get a little mini concert as well. And then go their new perfume passageway. Son Jeffrey collects antique perfume bottles. Absolutely beautiful. It's like walking a street of Paris. And then you head back over to the Carousel Pavilion, where they have a fully restored European carousel. And anything that looks gold is gold. And it's full of orchestrions, and it's great on a mystery tour. Once people come, then they like to do the holiday concert as well, where you get a live Christmas concert, Christmas music with a meal in the Carousel Pavilion. It's
Okay.
awesome.
Okay, what other historic home touring options are available in the area?
Yeah, we have the Wandering Tree Estate. That is a grounds tour. It's the home of the train lady. She has railroad gardens going through her lovely estate. The Cuneo Mansion and Gardens. If you've seen the movie My Best Friend's Wedding, was filmed there. You get an indoor tour along with the grounds, should you like. And then we also have right on our border is Bettendorf Castle, which is an actual handmade castle. The gentleman's name was Teddy Bettendorf, and he made that by hand, probably because he was never married. He had lots of time on his hands, and the groups love the tour. They really do. It's absolutely beautiful. So we have a lot of unique homes, great for mystery tours.
Hey, okay, so I was going through your area this past weekend, and I saw the roller coasters were flying again at Six Flags Great America.
Six Flags is like going to your local county fair, but it's just bigger. So it is great for student groups. They have performing options. They also have Hurricane Harbor, which is a large outdoor water park that opens on Memorial Day. They just have so much there, and mostly people think about younger people and roller coasters, but it's a great option for our seniors to go out and experience fun food like funnel cakes and candy apples, see a show, ride the carousel, ride the train, and people watch. It's a lot of fun.
Well, the Hurricane Harbor certainly is a fun summer activity. I know that's relatively new. What also might surprise people is Gurney Mills, which is that massive outlet mall, is just right across the interstate from Six Flags. So anything new or unique going on there these days?
Yeah, they keep changing, to meet the demand of the customers. And, online shopping is very popular, so entertainment options are always big there. We have like a student trifecta. We have the Six Flags, Gurney Mills, and then Great Wolf Lodge, Illinois is all right there. So we have the perfect location if you want to come out of the city and spend some time in the suburbs. Gurney Mills has a couple hundred stores. They also have sports activities, escape room, movie theater. So there's lots there to do.
Good, good. Talk a bit about some of the entertainment options. In the upper right-hand corner, you can't get a great view of it, of Ravinia. It's just a spectacular
Yeah.
outdoor music and entertainment venue. So I would imagine they're opening back up this summer, but some of the other theater and performance venues in the region.
Yeah, we're really excited. We missed Ravinia last year. So they're opening up in July. They'll be making an announcement shortly of the shows that are coming. You have the pavilion seating and the lawn for social distancing. They will actually be creating circles on the lawn. It normally seats up to 18,000 people there. So it'll be safer this year. But it's absolutely wonderful. If you're in the Chicago area during the summer, it's just, they say, see the stars under the stars. We also have the Marriott Theater, which should be reopening up this fall. They do only strictly musicals. A lot of them are the ones that you're familiar with, Sound and Music, South Pacific. And then they usually introduce a new one. And it's about 800 seats. It's theater in the round. So the stage is in the middle, which is a lot of fun. And they also then do meals at the Lincolnshire Marriott Resort right there. So it's a great meal and entertainment option.
Okay. You guys are also located right on Lake Michigan, at least part of your communities are. Anything fun, unique to do in and around the lake for groups?
Yeah, we have the chain of lakes, which is absolutely beautiful. Behind me here, that is a photo from Hot Rod Studio overlooking the chain there. And we have Lake Michigan. So the Illinois Beach Resort is on Lake Michigan. We can also then send groups on a walking tour of the state park and just teach you about the floral and fauna of the state park. And then just a short distance away is the Temple Lipizans, which is the world's largestly owned, privately owned herd of Lipizan stallions in the world. So what you would see in Vienna is what you would see in Wadsworth. So there's a great couple of options. You can see a performance or attend the How a Lipizan Learns to Dance. So they actually show you how the stallions are trained. And then
Oh,
a quick
beautiful.
shot down there is the shanty, which was featured on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
Great update, ladies. Appreciate your time today. Contact information, we'll go ahead and drop this in the chat feature as well, so folks can reach out to you directly with questions or any inquiries. But why don't we go ahead and turn this back over for questions?